Lightning splits the sky. The savannah roars. You feel the earth tremble under your feet. A tree erupts, flames like a second sun. Birds scream, herds scatter. Most of your group bolts. You do not. Curiosity pins you like a spear. You edge closer. Heat slaps your face. Charred bark spits embers. You smell iron and smoke and something dangerous, beautiful. A branch still glows. You reach. Your fingers burn. You pull it free. You do not run. You carry the ember home. You do not understand what you've stolen. You only know it holds light. It holds warmth. It holds power. It holds danger. You tuck it in green leaves. You shield it from wind. You protect it like a newborn. That night, the group gathers. Eyes wide, faces gaunt from cold. You set the branch down. Flicker becomes flame. The faces change. Fear dims. Curiosity replaces it. You transformed the night. You handed them more than glow. You handed them a new world. At dawn, you test it. You put meat to the fire. Aroma rises. Fat. Smoke. Survival. The meat softens. Your jaws relax. Chewing becomes easier. The throat swallows without fight. Digestion eases. You feel different. Lighter. Stronger. Food that once took hours now takes minutes. Children eat and cry less. Old wounds seem less cruel. Your people stay. They stop wandering back at dusk. Predators sniff the air and keep distance. The night no longer rules you. You trade hours of alertness for hours of sleep. Fire stretches your day. You speak under its light. Stories rise like sparks. Maps of the land grow around the embers. Plans are made. Weapons are repaired. Spear tips are hardened in the flames. Wood becomes sharper. The hunt shifts. You learn to approach animals differently. You learn patience, strategy. The fire reshapes the group like a tool reshapes a hand. Keeping fire is work. You wake to embers that must be banked. You learn to bury coals in ash, to smother flame but keep heat. You carry fire in a shell of glowing embers. You travel with it. For generations, people likely carried single fires across seasons. Starting new fires is brutal. Sparks refuse you. Friction grinds your hands raw. You learn to tend, to nurse, to beg from a flame. Embers become sacred currency. They are guarded, traded, stolen. A single spark can mean life. It powers crafts. It cures. It hardens wood. It cooks. It scares beasts. At the center of your camp, a hearth is born. It draws you in. It orders space. It commands ritual. Children learn by the light. Elders keep knowledge warm. Secrets travel from mouth to mouth under one steady glow. The hearth is your first public place. It becomes a furnace of ideas. Mastery doesn't happen overnight. You tinker, you fail. You try 2 stones, you fail again. You rub 2 pieces of wood until your palms bleed. Then you learn tricks. You find the right wood, dry in the heart, soft at the edge. You build a spindle. You press, you rotate, you breathe. A fine powder winks into life. A spark, a flame. You celebrate like victory. Elsewhere, someone discovers cold metal hitting flint. A shower of sparks leaps across rock. Pyrite, ironstones, gifts from the earth. You learn to strike. You learn to coax. You design drills and bows. Fire becomes less luck and more craft. You build kilns and ovens. Clay hardens. Pots appear. Food stored safely. You shape a future with controlled heat. Pottery leads to grain storage. Grain leads to settled camps. Settled camps breed complexity. Fire births industry. Glass, bronze, steel. Each step, a new fire within your grasp. The flame rewires you. Cooked food delivers more calories. Your guts shrink. Your brain grows. Energy shifts from chewing to thinking. You speak more, plan more, remember more. Language blooms in the light of the hearth. You travel farther north. You conquer colder nights. You cross landscapes that once killed you. You become many kinds of maker. Weaponsmith, potter, glassblower, baker. Your world stretches into new climate zones and new threats. Social life reroutes. The fire sorts roles. Tenders, gatherers, apprentices. Fire centralizes power and knowledge. Those who control flame shape destiny. Fires stay lit for months. Some archaeologists find hearths with layers, ash on ash on ash, a continuity in ember. But the record is messy. The exact moment of graceful control debated. Some sites whisper of hearths hundreds of thousands of years old. Others say the mastery came later. Either way, the fire's story is ancient and explosive. You stand, older, at that first hearth in your mind. You trace the chain from ember to empire, from a burning branch to baked bread, from frightened curiosity to deliberate craft. Every glazed pot, every forged blade, every lit street has ancestors in that smoky night. You look at the stars. You remember the thunder. Would you have run? Would you have carried the ember home? Imagine being brave enough to hold danger. Imagine holding a tool that stretches time. You're not just surviving now. You're building, you're strategizing, you're inventing society. You're transferring heat into hope. There are costs. Fire burns. It destroys as well as creates. It forces choices about territory, resources, dominance. But the gains are monumental. You create warmth and light. You create ritual and memory. You create energy for the brain. You create the first laboratories, the first workshops, the first night schools, the first politics. And with each passing flame, your species becomes more than a nomad with stones. You become a maker of worlds. Thunder still cracks in your mind. You hold the ember again. The heat is familiar now. You feed it wood. You protect it. You pass it to the next generation. They learn to make it, to tend it, to wield it. Every fire in history traces back to that dangerous curiosity. So now, when the next storm comes, when lightning chisels the dark and a tree bursts into flame, what do? Run with the crowd or step toward the glow? You already know the answer. You pick up the branch. You carry it home. You start a new kind of night. You change everything.